Hey everybody, it's me Megs, and I am back with another video, and I'm going to show you guys how I made this wig. But y'all, I use some new hair by Unice, and the hair that I got from Unice is the Malaysian straight texture, and this is actually on the more affordable side, so you guys were requesting more affordable texture. I really like that it came in this box, and I also got some lashes, so I don't know if that comes with everybody's situation, but I will say that I like how the hair was packaged to me. I really like that it was in plastic because, you know, in transit sometimes in the mail anything can happen, so your hair is protected in the plastic. On Unice.com, they have many different textures to choose from, and this is the Malaysian straight hair. I got 4 bundles, and I did get a frontal, so I got 2 18s and 2 20s and a 16-inch frontal. So I really like that it was packaged really nice. So this is the hair straight out the pack. As you can see, it has, as far as the frontal goes, it looks a little pre-plucked. The knots are not bleached, so I did bleach the knots later on. So so far it looks really good because this is more affordable, on the more affordable side. I don't like saying cheap hair but it's on the more affordable side. So I'm looking at the bundles and they look pretty good, and this is Malaysian hair, so I feel like Malaysian hair is a little more on the fine side. So I did feel like each bundle was kind of like on the thinner side to be honest. So I feel like if you were gonna order this hair yourself, you need to like be mindful that you might need at least 4 bundles to get a decent full look. For me, I don't like an overly full look, so the amount of bundles that I use I was fine with. So I'm looking at the bundle 2, and I'm not getting any shedding or any tangling as I run my fingers through it. So we had to switch our lighting up really quick, and I'm using a dome head that I got from Amazon, and I'm using this wig cap especially for making wigs, and this wig cap is good for hot gluing, which is what I'm going to do because I don't like to sew. So I did bleach the knots, and I'm still practicing. So with this frontal, I did kind of mess up the bleach a little bit, but it's okay. It's all right. So for making the wig, I always kind of measure out the frontal from ear to ear, and I take a Sharpie, like a metallic one, so I can kind of mark where I want the frontal to go. So I move the frontal slightly forward, just so I make sure that I have enough room as far as in the back of my wig. So I mark that up, and I'm gonna put a little note for me to know which way to place my frontal, because sometimes you forget which side of the line to put it. So I just made a little note for myself, like, that's where you need to put it, Megan. So I put that thing on the wig head like this, okay? So I'm gonna put that on there and make sure it's nice and secure, and I'm going to use a hot glue gun. Now, I know from the last video y'all were like, you know, you can get black glue gun sticks. I know now, but I made this video probably like 2 months ago, y'all. So these are the glue sticks that I had. So as far as the frontal goes, I'm going to line it up with that line that I made. So I'm going to pin that just to make sure it's nice and secure, so when I start to glue, that it will be nice and lined up. And I made sure that the frontal was even on both sides of my head before I marked it, so you want to like be mindful of that too. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this right on here like this in little dot motions, because I feel like when you do like dots, it just adheres better. And I just press that in, and don't worry if like you get some glue on the hair, that does come out later on. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just put the glue along the perimeter of the frontal and make sure that I don't get it on the lace. You kind of just put it on the thicker band part of the frontal like so. And you just keep going until you're all done, and you take it all the way down to the side of the dome cap. And it's okay if like your frontal hangs longer than the dome cap, because you're gonna eventually cut that off around your ears anyway. So I know someone asked me that too. So it's all glued on. So now I'm going to go ahead and start gluing the bundled hair to the back of the dome. And I'm going to unravel a bundle. I'm taking the longest bundle first, the 20-inch. And I'm just going to measure out the length of how much I need to glue on the back. Like that. It's really easy. And you just cut that off. And then you just measure it again and make sure it's like, the length that you need it. And you just proceed to glue. Really simple, straight to the point. This process takes me about 45 minutes to an hour. And this is just something like if you need a quick change up as far as a look. Now I will say, like with the glue gun method, as far as wearing wigs, I feel like they do last a long time. But you will have to, touch up areas that get loose over time because it is hot glue, it's not sewing. So I want everyone to be mindful of that. And two, you can wash the wig, being that it's the hot glue gun method. So I just glue that along the bottom half of the dome cap, and I make sure that I don't put it all the way on the end of the cap. I just kind of bring it up a little higher because it's just not comfortable like laying on the back of my neck. That's why I don't put the hair all the way on the edge. So what you do is, now that you have that on, when it's like towards the bottom, I kind of lay the tracks closer together just to make sure that I get as much hair as possible. And I notice that these wefts are really thin. So I'm trying to make sure that I get everything as close as possible. And I really like too that it's laying really flat. So I don't mind that the weft is thin. And you just glue it and stick it. Like bloop. So now that I have kind of like the bottom half done, I always make sure I kind of comb the hair to make sure I get any glue out. And as you can see, I did wash and condition this hair, and this is supposed to be Malaysian straight, but you can see it kind of has like a bit of a wave to it. So now that I got to this point here, because I continued gluing up and up, once I get to the top part of the hair or the dome cap, I kind of space the tracks out further apart because you don't want this part to be super bulky, because you want this to lay a little flatter. So I always kind of make sure I space it out just a little further than what I was doing before, because I've made the mistake in the past where I had them all close together and it just got really bulky at the top. So you just space it out until you close the space up. But yeah, you guys can see that this hair has sort of a wave, which is really, really pretty too. So you just glue her and comb out any glue and just continue to glue until you close up the space. So now we're getting towards the top, and you just want to make sure that you close it all the way up. So when you comb your frontal back, you don't have any spaces. And now that is done and it's completely glued. I know next time, y'all, I'm gonna purchase the black glue gun sticks. Is that on Amazon, y'all? Let me know. So now it's complete. So I'm just going to remove the wig off of the dome head, and I'm going to cut off the material underneath the frontal because we want the frontal to show through. Like, we don't want that material to show through because it'll be black. So you just cut it out right there. And that's pretty much it. And I'm gonna put her on to make sure she fits okay, and she does. And as you can see, I did kind of get bleach on the front of the hair. So at this point, when I had filmed this, I was still learning to like kind of perfect my bleaching skills of the knots. And I got it perfected by the time I did my second wig. So yeah, it's a learning process. So now I'm gonna go ahead and cut the excess frontal off around my ears because I don't need all of that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it off. Make sure you don't cut your hair though. Be careful. And just kind of make like a U around the ears. And do the same thing on the other side, and it fits nice and perfect. So being that the frontal it looked like it was already pre-plucked, I did go ahead and pluck more hairs out of the frontal because I got bleach on some of the hairs on the front. So I took those all out. And let me tell you, this process took forever. And I feel like I did pretty good, but there are some things that I want to improve on before I go ahead and make a video about it. But I definitely feel like I'm getting really close to wearing the hairline out. I'm really pleased about how that came out. So bear with me until I do a video about tweezing the hairline. So it looked pretty natural to me. More natural than what it has in the past for me because I'm still learning. So I'm really happy about how everything is laying, and as you can see, it does have a wave to it. So what I am going to do, I'm going to flat iron this hair to see how it works, how it does with the flat iron, because this hair is really, really fine. And I know in the past I tried to curl Malaysian hair, so I just decided not to curl the Malaysian hair because I prefer Malaysian hair to be pinned straight because I feel like it does better than curls. So that's what I did. And here, y'all, I had wore this hair for about a month, and this hair is actually dirty in this clip. So I feel like it does really well. It flat ironed really well. I wore this hair for my birthday week, and it did really well. I did not get any tangles or any matting, but I will say with the hair overall, when you kind of look at it from the back, there are split ends in the back towards the ends. It's like, you can kind of see them. So I did have to go in. You can kind of see them right here. I did have to go in and cut some of those split ends off the back because they were poking out, and I wasn't able to mask that with hairspray. But overall, I feel like the hair held up pretty well, and I feel like it does well too for the price point. So I do have a coupon code for y'all if you want to try out this hair for yourself, and I will have an updated video to let you guys know how I'm liking the hair further along in the wear test. Okay, so as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.